Your attention, masters, mistresses. All systems functional for the Everything Geek podcast.
Hey, this is Rich McDonald, and I play Commander David Mason on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. And you're listening to Everything Geek Podcast.
Hey, it's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Master Plo Koon in Star Wars The Clone Wars, and you're listening to Everything Geek, the podcast.
Hey, it's Leif Gamfert. I played Uncle Ben's killer in The Amazing Spider-Man, and you're listening to the Everything Geek Podcast.
Hello, I'm Simon Fisherbecker. You probably know me better as Dorian Moldovar from Doctor Who, or the Fat Friar from Harry Potter. And this is Everything Geek Podcast.
Face it, Tiger. You just hit the jackpot with the Everything Geek Podcast.
You're listening to the Everything Geek Podcast, bringing you interviews from your favorite films and TV shows every week, and all of the latest news. Here's your host, Ruari Williamson.
Hello everyone, this is Ruari Williamson of the Everything Geek Podcast, presenting my interview from London Film and Comic Con with film extra Stephen Bayley, best known for playing Stormtrooper TK-421 and Darth Vader's hands in TIE Fighter scenes in Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. Enjoy. Hello everyone, this is Ruari Williamson of the Everything Geek Podcast. I'm here at London Film and Comic Con with film extra Stephen Bayley. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you enjoying the event so far?
Yes, it's been brilliant. There's quite a few interesting characters around, including yourself.
Thanks, that makes me feel so good about myself, sir. Yeah. So, for our listeners who may not be familiar with your background, you wanted to become a model originally, so can you tell us how you wanted to become a model, like where that came from?
I'm not quite sure. A vain sort of streak in my personal makeup, I suppose. I thought in those days I wanted to be a model, and I was hoping to use it as a backdoor to acting and that, but it didn't. But I ended up with an agency, Central Casting, who at the time, very first job I had with them was as an extra on Star Wars, which none of us at the time knew what would happen after we'd done it.
Definitely. So you then obviously became an extra, and how were you originally cast in A New Hope to play your roles in it?
Well, basically it's just luck. I mean, we were sent. There's a group of us sent along to be Stormtroopers, and for me, I was lucky to stand in the right place at the right time when they wanted two people to stand at the bottom of the ramp up to the Millennium Falcon, and from that, I just did whatever I was told, basically, as an extra. You're not.
Yeah. And it's just really interesting how that happens sometimes, because for so many Star Wars fans, TK-421, very iconic, easily memorable scene, but like you said, it was just accidental that you got the role. So
accidental that I was at the bottom of that ramp at the time. I'd love to be able to find out who the other guy is, but he was an older guy. I suspect he's no longer with us. But I was quite young at the time, so I'm still here. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Definitely. So, as well as playing the iconic Stormtrooper TK-421, it's also interesting because you were also Darth Vader's hands in some of the TIE Fighter scenes. How come your hands were used instead of Dave Prowse's?
Basically, again, it's just accidental. I was just standing around doing nothing one day, and they said, you can come along, put that gauntlet on. And I just sat in a mock-up cockpit, and they just felt my hand pressing the joystick.
It's very interesting.
That's how they do things.
Yeah. They just tell you at the time.
It gets edited, and then they can edit anything that they do and make it look like it's all, a sequence of events.
Definitely. So my final question, do you have any upcoming extra roles or anything else coming up that you would like to talk about?
But I've got, I might be being used this week for something. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. But I've just finished something called The Death of Stalin. Also, this year I've been on the Wonder Woman film, doing extra work on that. So it's bitty. It comes up and occasionally. But there's hopefully more. I've got, some interesting things I've done in the past. You, Me and the Apocalypse for Sky, I've done that. Holby City, stuff like that.
It's really nice, and that's going to be a nice Star Wars DC connection for some of the other geeks out there. You worked on Wonder Woman a little bit. That's very nice, very interesting.
And the Legend of Tarzan as well, that's just come out. I was an extra on that, so I've been involved in that as well. So that's quite a different sort of film, well, with computer graphics anyway.
Definitely. So thank you very much for talking to me. Make sure to check out our podcast links, check out our website, website.everythinggeekpodcast.com/EGP, check out our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/everythinggeekpodcast, check out our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/users/everythinggeekcast, check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/everythinggeekp, check us out on Instagram, instagram.com/official everythinggeekpodcast, check out our Mixcloud profile, www.mixcloud.com/everythinggeekpodcast, email us at the following email, everythinggeekpodcast@gmail.com, check out our companion podcast, Everything Geek Comiccast, www.facebook.com/everythinggeekcomiccast. Make sure to check out the host's YouTube channels. Mine is www.youtube.com/user/separatist-destroyers. Check out Stephen Bayley's full list of credits on Showmasters forums. showmasters.online.com/forums/index.php show topic 92406, and check out Channel 113 broadcasts live from www.channel138.com. Geeks out, everyone.
Oh yeah, when you make a movie, there's just a camera and a crew there. There's no audience for feedback. You really have no idea how the public are going to take to you. So it was a great surprise and a great privilege.
As a cameraman who was as good or better than I was, but the production side was not so good. So I started becoming a production manager and assistant director, and then later became a producer out of that.